Well, let's close with a story about a company named Chegg. Now, Jason, I didn't even know about this company. I had never heard the name, and that's part of what makes life interesting. Discovery is the spice of life, or it's one of the spices, right? So Chegg is an education technology company that offers online textbook rentals, homework help, online tutoring, scholarships, internship matching, and the like. Chegg shares up around 9% today on earnings. And this is not a small company. This is between $4 and $5 billion.
Yeah, well, speaking of spices, I mean, let's talk a little bit about McCormick, Mac, because that's really a business. Just kidding, everybody. All right, no, Chegg. I mean, this is a company I've covered for a number of years, and I started following it back in 2014 because it was interesting to me from a parent's perspective, having gone to college. I saw what they were doing in the basic business back then was selling college textbooks to students. And then they got into the business of renting college textbooks to students, physical books. But what really struck me, the damning chart for the case for this business, was the absurd increase in in the price of college textbooks through the years. You go back to the mid-'70s, the prices in college textbooks were outpacing medical services, new home prices, and even the CPI, which if you think about it, really, that's extremely backwards. I mean, when you're a student, you don't have a whole heck of a lot to put on the line, and we're trying to educate our young population to be able to go do more things. We can't put them behind the eight ball by making it so they can't even afford their books. But what they did, and I give all of the applause here to CEO Dan Rosenwig, was basically pivoting this business to a digital business. Instead of being physical books, let's start going beyond books. Let's develop a network, a full-on offering of all sorts of different services, from digital books to tutoring services. You name it, their Chegg services business really has it. And so now they're bringing on students beyond college students. We're talking about middle school and high school students, bringing them into that network. They educate people on how to pursue student loans, grants, things like that to get into college. It to me is just an example of a business that saw a lot of inefficiencies in a very important demographic in students and decided to try to eliminate as much of those inefficiencies as possible, return a lot of value. And with all that said, my one real concern with this business, because they make most of their money through that Chegg services, which is subscriptions, students aren't known for having a whole heck of a lot of money, so the pricing power on that subscription may be a little bit questionable, and the stock is not cheap. It's not like it's a profitable business. It's trading like 100 times cash flow, so you take that for what it's worth. But this was a $6 stock 5 years ago, Mac. I mean, it's closing in on $40 now, and the hat's off to Dan for really turning this business around.
Do you think 5 years from now they're still chugging along, or sorry, that was too easy, or do you think they get acquired by someone like Amazon? Because when I first read about this company, my first big question is, what keeps Amazon from just going into that space and just gobbling it up?
Well, Amazon tried to, if you remember, they've gotten a little bit into the student book side of things. Barnes & Noble always was a player in that. And I think therein lies the importance of Chegg diversifying their business beyond just books and really offering educational services, tutoring and whatnot. I really thought Amazon would be a natural acquirer for a business like this a time ago because it was a lot cheaper. It, to me, seemed like a great way to get immediate access to an up-and-coming generation of Prime members who would be developing a relationship with Amazon at a younger age. And that could still happen. I don't know. But it sure does seem like they are doing just fine on their own.